on the table. I am Sheriff Quadry, and we're reaching you live from our studios here on Etimi and Crescent Victoria Island. Right, you can watch this show on Facebook and on YouTube. Nigeria Info 99.3 is how you can watch live on Facebook, Detail YouTube. Let's start. We're gonna start from this paper here. In fact, we have quite a number of papers. I don't know what is going on. Right? Okay. So let's start with the Nigerian News Direct. End bad governance. Protesters defy FG as demonstration enters day 5 with renewed vigor. End bad governance protests. Protesters defy FG as demonstration enters day 5 with renewed vigor. The riders go this way. Audio achievements have no place in our country. Protesters blow hot. Your broadcast disappoints. Uninspiring. Southwest PDP tells Tinubu. Protests to resume October 1 if demands are met. Lawyer. A story is on page 5 of Nigerian News Direct. You can read further if you are interested in that. So let's take one more from Nigerian News Direct. Soyinka Serap berates police brutality on protesters. Journalists. A story is on page 3. Soyinka Serap berates police brutality on protesters. Journalist, page 3 of the Nigerian News Direct. I'm going to drop the paper now. Let's go to the Point newspaper. The Point has the following story. Why Nigerians may continue to experience hardship after nationwide protests. Expert. Why Nigerians may continue to experience hardship after nationwide protest. That story is on pages 6 and 7 of the Points newspaper this morning. The writers say kudos knocks over president's address to protesters. Nigerian citizens count losses, seek alternatives to protest. Pages 6 and 7 of the Points newspaper. Top manufacturing companies, telecoms, reel in pains of foreign exchange injury. A story is on page 22 of the Point newspaper. Top manufacturing companies, telecoms, reel in pains of foreign exchange injury. Story is on page 22 of the Point. I'm going to drop the point right now. In case you're just joining us, you're welcome. It's Dailies today on Nigeria Info 99.3, right? And you can watch live on Facebook and on YouTube. Nigeria Info 99.3. I'll come to the telephone lines once it's 7:42. Meantime, let's continue with the stories this morning. I've got the next paper here, the Daily Champion. Here we go. Soyinka Atiku, PDP, Sunny others blast Tinubu's speech. Hashtag end bad governance protest. Soyinka Atiku, PDP, Sunny others blasts Tinubu's speech. Stories on page 6. The writers say it's diversionary, empty, failed to address critical issues, hardship of Nigerians, condemn shooting of unarmed protesters, and non-mention of it. His failure to address protesters' demands worrisome, says INC. Lagos residents express mixed reactions. President's policies will bring succor to Nigerians. APC chieftain. The story is on Daily Champion newspaper. You can read it further on page 6 of the paper this morning. Right? Okay. So we're going to drop the Daily Champion. We've got quite a number of papers on the table this morning. So we move on. We'll move on. The New Telegraph is next on the table. Presidential broadcast, Tinubu's government racing hard to win populace. Investors trust OPS. Presidential broadcast, Tinubu's government racing hard to win populace. Investors trust OPS. He has riders as well. Let's take another story here. JAMB issues 1-month ultimatum to tertiary institutions to disclose illegal admissions. The story is on page 3 of the New Telegraph newspaper for you today. Well, that particular banner headline I just read a moment ago can be read on pages 2, 3, 4, 5, 26, 29, and 30 in the New Telegraph. That's the presidential broadcast headline. It's the banner on the front page of the New Telegraph newspaper. Okay. Let's look at this one on page 9. Hashtag Igbo must go. Ethnic card continues to expose Nigeria's fault lines. The story is on page 9. You can read further. That hashtag was trending last week. Lagos government opens new engagement channels with residents. That story is on page 26. If you'd like to know what the engagement channel is, you can pick up the paper and then read further. Let's go to page 20 of the New Telegraph. Report says media, telecoms prime targets for cyber attacks in 2024. A report says media, telecoms prime targets for cyber attacks in 2024. So it's on page 20. I'm going to drop it now. Let's go to the Vanguard newspaper this morning. If you're joining right now, you're welcome to Dailies today here on Nigeria Info. Here we go now. Here we go. Protest. Tinubu's broadcast fell short of expectations. Stories on page 5. Organizers. Atiku, Soyinka, PDP, NLC, others. That statement is credited to all of them. Riders. Protests continue in Lagos, Osun, Kano, others. Tinubu's speech hollow. Fails to address hardship among Nigerians. That's Atiku. His broadcast didn't address police brutality against protesters. Soyinka. Address economic contractions. NECA tasks government. Chuckers rubbish Tinubu's protest speech. Say president bereft of ideas. That's another rider to that. So you can read further. Page 5 of the Vanguard newspaper this morning. Okay. Now, let's quickly move on. Let's go take another story in the Vanguard newspaper this morning. In fact, when you open up the Vanguard newspaper and straight to page 5, you would see the report in full page there. Widow, 6 children, grandchildren hospitalized after consuming pap. Story is on page 6 of the Vanguard newspaper. Widow, 6 children, grandchildren hospitalized after consuming pap. Page 6 of the Vanguard this morning. Here we go. A widow identified as Amina Isa and her 6 children and grandchildren have been hospitalized in Egba, Agati local government area of Benue State, after they reportedly consumed pap yesterday morning and passed out. It was gathered that the woman and the children were seen vomiting uncontrollably by a neighbor who raised the alarm, which attracted other neighbors who rushed them to a private clinic in the community. According to the source, the woman and her grandchildren and her children reacted to a chemical, as it was discovered that they used the remnants of the guinea corn that was treated with chemical before planting to make the pap they consumed. That's unfortunate. I hope they're fine. They're fine. You can read further though if you're interested. On page 6 of the Vanguard newspaper. Alrighty, so here we go. Food inflation. Students groan on campuses. The writers. My son came home malnourished. I hardly recognized him. That's credited to a parent. We are hungry, restless. Students. Something has to be done. Naptan. Reintroduce subsidized meals for students. NANS. Students can apply for upkeep allowance loan. NEL Fund. This story is on page 9 of the Vanguard newspaper. If you want to read further, you can read, pick it up. Food inflation. Students groan on campuses. Page 9 of the Vanguard. There you go. Vanguard gone. Let's go pick another paper. This time, the Daily Trust newspaper is our next paper today. All right, so here we go. Atiku, Soyinka, Falana, others pick holes in Tinubu's speech. Hunger protest, bereaved families mourn. That's a sad one. It's a very sad one. How demonstrators wreaked havoc on hinterlands. The story on page 7. How demonstrators wreaked havoc on hinterlands. Page 7 of the paper. On the front page of the Daily Trust newspaper, they have the infographics of what transpired during the End Bad Governance protest in the couple of days. Here we go. They have it here. So this story reads here. if you look at the infographics now, it goes this way: death toll 18, police reported 7, injuries 175. KB has a death toll of 1. Katsina is also there. I think Niger is 6, FCT 1, Kaduna 2, Kano is 1, Jigawa 3. Yobe is I think they touched a building there, or they looted a building rather. Borno 4. It's quite unfortunate. Curfew imposed in 6 states: Borno, Kano, Katsina, Jigawa, Yobe, Nasarawa. That's in Karu. Nasarawa only is in Karu. So you can read further on the front page. It also has here approximate worth of goods lost in the past 4 days is worth 6 billion naira. That's the approximate worth of goods lost. If you're watching online, you'll be able to see the front page as the camera is panning on the front page right now. Number of states where peaceful protests were recorded: 10. Number of states with cases of violence: 17. Number of suspects arrested: 700 plus. That's over 700. Very good job, Ali Gaidam, the infographics guy for Daily Trust newspaper. Great job. So you can read further on the Daily Trust if you are interested. It's 7:42 right now. Let me quickly take the Punch newspaper. Let's take the Punch, and then we'll come and take your thoughts as well. NDLA arrests 12 with drugs hidden in baby food. The stories on pages 4 and 5. Hardship. States get 570 billion naira grant. Are we asking our state governors enough questions? Think about that. No, just think about it. Think about it. Retail investors may shun bank stocks as shareholders lose 1.6 trillion naira. Stories on page 32 of the Punch newspaper. Luke, you can pick up the Punch. I'm late now for your calls, but you can pick up the Punch and read further. They've got some other interesting stories here. If you go to pages 4 and 5, you'll be able to locate their Metro page there, and then you read further, okay? All right. So I'm going to drop the Punch right now. The Guardian will pick you up much later on. 2770993 for the male callers. For the female callers is 465-7190. Before you call, though, please add the code 0201. That's 0201 before you call in, so you can get through here. That is 0201 2770993 for the male callers. For the female callers is 0201 465-7190. Everyone has got 60 seconds to share their thoughts with me. Let's get the show on the road now. Good morning to you.
Fantastic morning to you, Sheriff.
Good morning to you.
I believe you had a wonderful weekend.
I tried.
Well tried. Mr. President, in his speech, did not disappoint. Sorry, Emeka is my name from Satellite.
Welcome, Emeka.
I wasn't disappointed. It was more like a deja vu for me because I was just following his antecedents. And true to type, that speech was most unpresidential. It was insensitive, it was hollow, and failed not only to address the needs of the protesters, but also showed some insensitivity to their plight. Because even like Wole Soyinka pointed out, he didn't even address the issues of using live bullets on peaceful protesters. So for me, I think he fell short of expectations of people who were expecting better from him. But come on, look at his handlers, look at those around him, look at his speechwriters. What do you expect? And he also alluded to the fact that ethnic bigotry has no place in our nation. I agree. But how about, for starters, asking those people, getting rid of those elements in your cabinet who are stoking ethnic tensions all over the place? Example, Bayo Onanuga. People like that should be asked from a cabinet and bring in people, technocrats, people who will help you to build a nation. Because elections are over, we have a country to run. So what you need now are technocrats, people who will help to unite the country.
Thank you.
And come up with top-notch policies that will improve the living standard of people.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sheriff Quadry.
Emeka, well said. Thanks for calling. Appreciate it. Nigeria info. Good morning to you. Good morning.
How are your family?
Good, thank you.
This is Madam Lucy.
Welcome.
In 9 years, that's from 2015 to date, I only listened to Buhari's speech once, and I didn't find any meaning in it. And first of all, I couldn't even understand his speech, the way he pronounces things, so I stopped listening to it. This is the second time I'm listening. I listened to my president on Sunday from beginning to the end. Read it again in the social media from beginning to the end. My president is still campaigning as far as I'm concerned. I will. We have passed that I will stage. I have done. That's what we want to hear. And we are feeling it. You cannot come and give us your achievements. You feel you achieved this thing, but it's not, radiating to the masses. It looks somehow. I'm not happy. He didn't address these children. He didn't address their demands. And on this note, my daughters, my sons, brothers and sisters, just walk away from that protest land again. Leave everything for him and his God.
Thank you.
Our own God.
Thank you.
Please, leave the place. It's not worth dying for.
Thank you.
Don't spill your blood for this country.
Thank you. Thank you for calling. I appreciate it. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Mr. Sheriff.
Good morning.
My name is Robert.
Welcome.
We are not going to leave him for his God, though, because it is not God that put him there. It is we, Nigeria, that put him there. All what I saw in Tinubu's, the president's speech yesterday was nothing because he was addressing himself. He did not address the need, the pace of Nigeria. You cannot just come on air and be saying you have done it, you have done this, you will do this. No, this is not campaigning period. I was expecting him to say, okay, due to the pace, the subsidy that I remove because we don't have refinery for now, I have made mistake. I have reduced fuel price to social amount as Yaradua did, and his name is written on both today. Understand? I have opened border for mass importation of food stuff, then when social will get better. At least the people tension will come down. The way Mr. President spoke yesterday is look as if he has already made up his mind to punish Nigeria. And it's well better for him. Thank you very much.
Mr. Roberts, thanks for calling. Nigeria Info, good morning to you. Good morning.
Hello, Sheriff. Good morning.
Morning to you.
Yeah, Mazuda. See, I don't think that president is doing well, but see, that's oil subsidy that Nigeria wants president to return. I don't think it's normal. Because if they return fuel subsidy and sell fuel like 250 naira to 200 naira, what if the dollar goes higher than go to up to 2,000 naira to 2,005? Is he going to do dollar to 2,150 naira? So all I'm clamoring for is how to make economy come down to everything like dollar 500 naira. That means we don't have people that can make dollar 1-to-1 or 1 to even 100 naira. That means we lack knowledge of people in this country. So we need people that can come to make dollar 1-to-1. Because there is a time it is like that, even 1-to-1. Naira is higher.
Thank you.
I see the reason why Naira will.
Thank you. Thank you. Sorry, poor network, but thanks for calling me. Appreciate it. I mean, look, so just to add a bit to what you've said, look, I agree with you. We need to find a way to add strength to our currency, local currency, Naira. But it's not about somebody who can make it. You don't just make it. You've got to be producing. You've got to be manufacturing. You've got to be exporting things out and earning in dollars, so to speak, or trading in your own local currency with the outside world as well. So if you're able to do that, then your Naira can be strengthened in a number of ways. It's not just that you come into office and then Naira starts to get stronger. No, it requires a lot, actually. It requires a lot. Let's head back to telephone now. Let's see who is here. Good morning to you.
Hello, Sheriff. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
My name is Olumu. I'm calling from Ajan.
Let's talk.
President speech. he said, fuel subsidy no going back. Dangote told us what we knew already, that you guys want to build refineries to a country that's even smaller than Lagos. And then you take our crude oil to that country, and when the fuel was coming back, you are paying subsidy for the same fuel that Nigeria are using for Nigeria oil. Then now, for you now to deal with the Kaaba.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Olumiwa. I'm so sorry. Try and call me back, okay? That was a really bad network. Do try and call me, okay? Call me back. Good morning to you.
Hey,
Good morning. Good morning to you, brother.
Yes, let me key into what the big voices have said, the likes of Professor Wole Sheka, Femi Fadon, and the rest. The forecast fell short of expectation. The president, first of all, talked about, which I also condemn, those that vandalized and spoiled properties, and said that you use scarce resources now to fix those things back. And I asked myself, do we really have scarce resources? And you're giving 21 billion naira home for the vice president, and all the profligacies that we're seeing. Really, Mr. President, is there scarce resources? And yet you are budgeting billions for religious tourism, and all the whole profligacies we're seeing around, cars being bought from senators for 160 million, and you said there are scarce resources. I disagree with you, sir. There's no scarce resources. Nigeria has money. Secondly, he talked about bigotry. It is the politicians that do it now. It is them now. So I don't think it has to do with the masses. So for me, he did not even address the 12 points of the protesters. I thought he would address like 2 or 3 from those 12 points. He did not. So it fell short of expectation, like the prof has said.
Thank you.
That's my take. Good morning.
Thank you, Kevin. Thanks for calling. Appreciate your time, okay? Now, let's go to Skype. Let's go take some Skype calls now. Let's see who is here. Good morning to you, Skype caller. Give me a moment. Okay, I can hear you now. Morning to you.
Mama Biola, Sheriff, I know you are hearing some of these protests going on in UK too.
Yes, I am.
From this South school that one man killed 2 children, 1619, and the other woman, and then that led to protest. My question is this: have you heard anybody that police killed?
No.
Because sometimes when you are this country called Nigeria, when you are hearing something, you think just they pain you. You just be like as if that the black in us is just pulling out to do some mad thing. I don't understand. I don't get it. If you see the kind of provocation these protesters are putting on police, there was one that he went to hit the police. That policeman with his shield fell down. He fell down.
A lady police officer. I think I saw it.
Yeah. I saw that one too. Was hot. She was hot.
Yeah. So I have to go now. So sorry, brother. So sorry. Thank you for calling me. Appreciate your time. Okay, let's take another call quickly. Azu is here. Azu, how you doing?
Good morning, Sheriff.
Good morning to you.
Let's just go straight to the point. Enough of this. The Mr. President, from the speech, it looks as if he doesn't have a full grasp of what people are going through. And not just that, he does not have a solution to the questions the people are asking. Let's tell ourselves the truth. Apart from the inspiring, Mr. President, it's looking so obvious that he's just there to just answer Mr. President. Like, the issues are now wrong. They're putting it on your table. Mr. President, what are the answers? When you start telling the people, I have done this, mean you're not doing anything. We are not to tell you have done this. I will do this, I have done this. It's not cutting it. I will 1 year after, I have no. What are you telling us? We are going to tell you, look, we can see what you're doing. It's unfortunate that you're here. Mr. President has to go back to the drawing board. Look at his cabinet. The people he have employed, they should all put on their thinking caps. People are hungry. That's what we are telling him. Have a nice day, Mr. Sheriff.
Right on time. Thank you for calling. Appreciate you, Azu. 7:55, going on 56 any moment now, like 3 seconds from now. Let's go to The Guardian quickly. I'm going to drop a few headlines from The Guardian. Then We go back to telephone call. No, sorry. We'll take some comments. National broadcast outrage over rehash of old policies, threats, failure to soothe protesters. That's a banner on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper. Import duty forex rises to 1,618 naira to the dollar, despite Tinubu's pledges. The story is on page 3 of the Guardian. Nationwide protest, dialogue remains best option, says Diri. Diri is the Bayelsa State Governor. The story is on page 27. If you'd like to read further, I'll drop the Guardian now. Right? Okay. Now let's go take some messages. Where do we begin from? Let's start from WhatsApp. We've got some WhatsApp comments that are here already, so let's take a few of them. You know what? Let's start from WhatsApp. Let's start from Facebook, rather. I've got this one here from Don. Don Eselgene says, when GEJ removed it in 2012, these hypocritical Nigerians have as okay. You know what? I'm gonna stop there. You're being uncouth with your comments. Let me take another comment here. Godwin Ekene says PDP was managing this situation. How come it escalated in the hands of APC? That's Godwin Ekene. Good question, but you need to look around a lot more to see if it would still be here if you had been doing the same thing PDP had been doing. Look at that critically. Thank you, though. Thank you for your comments. Appreciate it. Let me take another comments this time. Let's go to YouTube. We've got some comments up in here on YouTube. Let's see. Corey says, anyone who has high hopes for this government is just deceiving himself. Corey, thank you for sharing your thought. Appreciate it. I have another one here that says, Big Boss says, Tinubu has nothing to offer Nigeria. He's only there to achieve his lifetime ambition. That's the president of Nigeria. That's Big Boss who sent that in. I have another comment here. I'm gonna be taking some time because I need to go through this comment before I put them on air. Okay, so bear with me. Let's see. Steven says President Tinubu will not be against what is favoring him and his men. That's Steven who dropped that here on YouTube. Padre Pio says, unsurprisingly, the president's speech was empty. By now, we know we are in for a very long thing. Esther Boli says, the only thing the protesting masses needed was a statement from a father of the nation, and it was an abysmal one he gave at the end of the day. That's Esther Boli who dropped that. Esther Boli, thank you for sharing. Bless says it's surprising but also not surprising that Tinubu has not spoken against the hashtag Igbo must go. He hasn't even sanctioned Ononuga for his inflammatory comment. His core supporters hate the tribe so much. As Bleanya who dropped that here. And I also think that particular hashtag shouldn't have been left unaddressed by the president as well. So we have to go now. I really must step aside now. Kofi is already at the door waiting for me. In fact, he has just stepped in now in front of the camera. You said what? Nothing what?
Not even take away.
Not to take away.
Not take away.
Kofi, stop it.
What happens in Vegas?
Yeah.
You don't get it.
Of course. I just don't want to address it on air. All right. Morning Crosswise next, people. Good morning to you.
Talk never stop.
When I collect my salary, my husband will lock me in the house.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.